Females always
All
want
right,
more.
there we go.
Or should I get up closer? Is
Oh,
good?
no, you're
That's good?
fine.
Okay.
I'm going to just kind of walk through it. So we'll do a quick introduction, and then we'll just go into the questions.
Okay.
So, hi, I'm
Hi,
Joseph.
Joseph. Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Yesenia.
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 So we have Yesenia. So, basic question, number one. What's your biggest pet peeve as a driver?
As a driver, okay, so it's gonna be a two-part.
Okay.
It's gonna be a
Take as
two-part.
much time as you want.
So the drivers, of course, because it affects my money.
Mm-hmm.
The drivers that say they're gonna tip and never tip.
Or the passengers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They say they're
Oh,
gonna tip.
I'll
and
tip
they
you
never-
on the app.
Yeah,
I'll get you on the app.
Yeah. Now I say that as
Yeah?
a rider, and I tip.
Yeah.
I always, but I know what it's like, so
Yeah.
I make sure that as soon as I get out and I'm somewhere where I can
Yeah.
the ride, rate the ride, tip the ride, but and most people are really cool. Most people tip, but the drivers that or the riders that say they're gonna, and they're just like the worst people that don't. It's just like,
Yeah.
terrible. And the other part is,
So, a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
What typically do they ask you? And I know many answers to this, but what do they ask you in order to get you to do a little extra? I'll tip you on the app.
yeah,
What do they ask for? What's the biggest?
stop at gas stations.
Yeah.
Stop. That's the stop through drive through.
Oh God,
The
the worst.
And it's but if they I'm the one who brings up hey, I will stop, I will go through that drive through with you, girl, I will go the extra mile, but a tip would be greatly
Yeah.
appreciated. And they're like, no, I got you, I'm doing, or half cash, or I have, so most people that do that are, because I bring it up first,
Yeah.
they're good with tipping or paying extra and stuff.
that's awesome.
So the other part to my biggest pet peeve is when clients are yelling or screaming or but we're in such close proximity. I get it. We're at the bar. You're at the bar.
Yeah.
I get it. But dang,
Like
because you could use your inside voice and still
Yeah.
be energetic and still be fun. But we're all in
minimize
the
the
same car.
chaos. a
Yeah,
little.
because
Trying to drive, don't want to kill
it
anyone.
is
Yeah.
sharp piercing when people are and it's cool, but or just talking too loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so those are just little annoyances, but nothing
Oh,
crazy,
wow.
I don't think.
That's funny. Absolutely. It's whenever they
vibes.
get into fights with each other too, and you're like,
Yeah.
or if it's male, female, and then you're like, oh, what do I do? Should I pull over? 3 minutes to go. Let's just get there. And so, but if it's 20 minutes, being a big guy,
Yeah.
I feel like I can actually do this a lot better than most. Is
Yes.
just pull over and say, hey, I'm trying to drive. I don't mean to be the dad, but I need you to just hold it together for the next 17 minutes.
I've
And
never
then they
got to
get
that point.
upset. I've had to, hey, I don't think this is working out. Last weekend, I had to kick this group out.
Oof.
It just got weird. And I was like, hey, this is just getting weird.
Yeah.
I need to focus on the road and you're distracting me.
Yeah.
Because they had weird requests hey, do you have any gum? Do you have any water? And I'm like, what do you think this
That's
is?
not that weird. That's not that weird.
But
But that's
we don't
not weird. Just
carry
say no.
that with us. Yeah. And so, yeah.
I've gotten weird requests, real weird requests. I'm a female driver.
Yeah.
So I get hit on a lot.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially working nights.
Yes. I just got hit on today, right now.
Oh wow.
But I'm a very social person. I'm I'm a big flirt myself. So, I don't take
fun.
offense to it.
It's fun, but we can't take it serious.
No. And people know that, and
Yeah.
it could be fun and interesting and social and all that. And I'm not gonna lie, I've got I get out of my number or two. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But nothing has ever gotten out of hand. I always make the rules. I it's up to where I want to go.
Yeah.
I'm driving. I'm the boss here.
Yeah.
That's
this
it.
is my
yeah,
business.
this is my car. So if
This
you
is
want,
my property.
yes.
Yes.
So if it ever gets out of hand or disrespectful, I'm very quick to stand up for myself and be like, "No, you thought."
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
and it's gotten like that where it's
Yeah.
gotten awkward, but whether people ask for a charger or
Oh, yeah,
I used to
that's-
give out water
yeah.
bottles and stuff like that, but
In
not
the
not
summertime, yeah, I'll carry them. But if I don't, and
Not
then
anymore.
they're like, well,
Not anymore.
there's
People
no
don't
water,
tip.
and it's like, this is a $3 ride.
Right.
Like-
Oh.
Or if they're like, hey, will you stop at the gas station? I'll tip you on the app. It's like, just get me a Monster Energy drink.
That's
Like,
a
give
good
me
one.
a Gatorade.
That's a good one.
Like,
That's a good one right there.
I understand your little like hustle,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to like
Go.
just
Yeah.
get me. Oh, McDonald's? Yeah, that's like 15 minutes. Get
Mm-hmm.
me like some food.
Yeah. Oh no. People are, and they're nice to be like, hey, what do you what would you like?
Yeah.
You're-
Oh, and that's
and that's cool.
if you get me a meal, it's like $12.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
that's
appreciate
cool.
that. That's
Yeah.
something I don't have to buy.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
you
like,
weren't
yeah,
expecting
I'll
to
do it.
stop
Yeah.
either, and you're not
Unless
getting paid
it's like
for that.
my second McDonald's drive-through. Then
yeah.
it's
I've told people, hey, I
can't
totally
stomach
would.
that much.
I
in one
totally
go.
would. But honestly, I don't get paid to wait, and I don't get paid enough already as
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it is. So if
13 cents a minute doesn't go too far.
tips would be greatly
It's like
appreciated. Oh no, here, yeah.
$7 and some change.
Yeah.
Like an hour. It's like idle for the gas. Like
It's terrible. That'll lead into the other question. Carry on.
What's a good story? Like what you kind of alluded to some
Yeah.
good ones. Like what's one of your favorites that whenever people ask that question, like, hey, tell me a good story.
So my absolute favorite, the one I always tell all my clients is, I picked up here in downtown. I picked up 4 gentlemen, young kids, young men, but
Yeah,
younger,
yeah.
in their mid-20s,
Try to like
whatever.
strut their flex their
Not
strut.
super young, but younger crowd, and they had a basketball with them, and I was like, and they're like,
Oh.
hey, so like we know we got the destination somewhere else, but can you take us to the nearest park? And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
There's one down the street. Like,
Yeah.
okay, weird, but all right.
Yeah.
So I took him to the nearest park, and they played a game of. They told me to wait. They told me to wait.
Wow.
Because they handed me a 20 though.
Oh.
They're
oh,
like,
okay.
hey, can you wait for us? Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna play a game, and like,
Yeah.
here's a 20. I'm like, absolutely, enjoy
Okay.
your game,
Yeah.
right?
Just
So-
don't stamp my seat whenever you get back in with your sweaty butt crack.
So
Sorry.
they
It does happen.
oh man, the stinky clients are the worst. Okay, that's added to that pet peeve one.
Oh, yeah.
Like whether you're like reeking of weed or whether you're like your asshole stinks. That is the worst part
you
of getting
smell
into
like
a
cigarettes, like a bag
just
of
like
cigarette
yeah,
butts.
like whatever
Yeah.
stench you got going on, and it's where it's totally infusing the
ooh,
car into such a
window
small
goes down.
place. That's not cool, man.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that because we're the ones who suffer.
Yeah.
I always crack the
Febreze that
windows.
seat.
Yeah, I always like crack the windows. Like it's loud, but you're
Yeah.
gonna get that wind in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, so they start playing a game of like horse or international or whatever, and I'm like, what the hell? All right, this is strange, but all right. They gave me a 20. I can't complain.
Yeah.
And so there's a tall military guy against this short, stubby guy,
Oh, wow.
and the short stubby guy is talking a big game. After the fact, so I'm still waiting, right?
Yeah.
They throw me another 20.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And they're just like,
That's
hey,
nice.
like, thank you. And at this point, I get out of the car and I'm like, turn down the app and I turn
Yeah.
off the app. And I'm like, okay, we're watching a basketball game.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, no, last one, $500. And I was like,
Whoa.
that's been big money. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Right? And so they're like, last one, here's another 20. I'm like,
Yeah.
at this point, I've
wow.
made $60
Yeah.
just waiting, chilling, watching them play the game, right? So the short guy loses $500, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
So I was like, ouch, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, right? That sucks.
Made that military guy's day.
Yeah, right? I was like,
Ching.
oh. But I guess they were all buddies, whatever. I don't know who they were. I don't know. But they just said,
Yeah.
go to the park. I said, go to the park. All right. So guy loses money. They're like, hey, all right, thanks so much for waiting. Like, you're super cool. Like, can you take us back to our condo? All right. Took him back to the condo down the street. No big deal. They're like, dude, you're really freaking cool. Like, you're really cool. Like, do you want to be our driver for the night? I'm like, fuck yeah.
Oh,
wow. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, with that kind of money.
Right?
You
And
value my time?
absolutely.
Done.
100%. So, yeah, I definitely took that cash money and took them to, Talking Stick. Because that's where they it seems like the military guy was in from out of town.
Yeah.
They were buddies.
Yeah.
They were looking to party.
As a Navy guy myself, yeah, that's
There you
awesome.
go. So it was cool. I took them to the casino. They paid me cash up front. They were really cool. And so that was like, yeah, that was really cool. Like,
That's
the
awesome.
coolest. They even gave me some spending money to play.
Wow.
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
really hooked it up.
What's your best tip?
I would say $100.
I got a 500 once.
Whoa!
And
I
then
would
a 373.
flip.
And she was
my-
such a sweetheart. She offered to buy me gas, and I was like, no, like I'm good. I'm very flattered.
I would have
And so
cried if I
she
got
handed me
$500.
a wad of money with ones covering the hundreds.
Oh my
And I was
God.
like, okay, it's probably like $6. I get out, because you don't want to like count it in front of them and be like, but it's like you kind of do because you want to thank them properly. And I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. I drive away and I'm like, $100 bills. Like, oh my God.
That's fucking
Yeah.
odd. I've never gotten that much money. Like, I think $100 is the most
Oh, wow.
that I've gotten. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So, but hey, more
Well, the
power to
500,
you.
there was some white powder kind of situation involved. And the guy felt kind of guilty. And I was like, you know what? I'm not a trained professional to understand what that is.
That is
just my street smarts.
hilarious.
You know what? It is what it is.
It doesn't even matter at
Yeah.
this point. I got my $500.
And so he Venmo'd me, and I was like, dude, all right. But he, like, not the guy that had it. It was his friend that just felt horrible. That the night was interesting.
Yeah.
And so he was like, long story short, $500 for your troubles.
Oh, that's
I was-
okay.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's like 2 pukes in my
yeah,
car.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I would be totally over the moon.
For like, it was like 2 hours of interesting.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
and that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take that for 2 hours of interesting.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
wild or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
So-
pretty overall, really cool clients. Everybody's really respectful, very nice, very pleasant. There's just a few, rotten apples that are nasty, that are rude, that are condescending. And that just comes with the territory.
Yeah. That's true.
And and especially when you involve alcohol,
Yeah.
clubs, like I had a guy that it just got disrespectful with me, and his wife was like threw me some cash
Oh,
and was
wow.
like, yeah babe, she's a bitch, and I was like, yep, I sure am, I sure am.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, like
Like-
you
Yeah.
yeah, sir. But
Yeah.
I've gotten belligerently drunk, myself, so I can't even talk. Like I get it. You're out and it happens.
This stuff happens.
It's part of the gig.
It's that crazy friend, and
It's part of the gig.
you definitely hear those passengers like, you're gonna mess up my whole rating. Like, I'm gonna get kicked off the app.
What?
$20, $40.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it looks like you're busy. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. What is one thing that you would change in the whole experience, either through the app or what's something you would want the general public or one of the rideshare companies to know that would make your life a little bit easier?
2-part. For clients, we don't get paid enough. Tip your drivers, because the maintenance, the gas, the wear and tear, the extra things we do, the going that extra mile, the client service, like that all matters. And when you have a great driver, tip your drivers, because we don't make enough. 2, for Uber and Lyft and all the rideshare services, pay your freaking drivers. Pay. I mean, I know we're self-contracted, but we still work under the guise of Uber and Lyft. So pay your employees well, because these $3, $2, $4.
A 262. I call it a code 262.
Yeah.
$2.62.
It's a
ridiculous.
slap in the face. It
covers the gas to pick them up.
Not
That's
even. It's crazy.
If you're lucky.
Right. It's crazy. Like, we have to drive to the client, then take the client wherever, and then if we're out of the way, we have a deadhead back. Keep those things in mind, because you're losing good drivers, and it's worsening your business. You want to get as many drivers out here as possible, because on busy nights, you need to get as many people home safely as possible. You need to make your money as well, because you guys are a business. I get it. Pay people decent. Like,
have like a higher minimum than the 262.
Yeah. Or charge, or take out a lower percentage of every freaking ride that we do, because guess what? We're doing all the work. Like, I don't mind for the business to take out a percentage. I get that.
Yeah.
But take out less, because some of these, you guys take almost half of that or more. A lot of times more than what these clients are paying. You guys are taking out a big chunk. And we know that, and we see that, and clients tell us.
I'm paying $80 to do the drive-thru,
and I'm getting 30, and I'm getting 29. You know what I mean? Or like even So it's just really sad, and you want to keep drivers out here on the road, and you want to keep making money. Then do us right. Period.
Yeah. But overall, it's fun, isn't it?
It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I pay for my trips, so I have so much flexibility in my life. I'm going on a trip. This week, I'm going on a trip this weekend. New Year's in Vegas. Like,
oh, wow.
My birthday's in March. Like, I'm just, like, working to pay for my trip.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. So I mean, I can complain, but
yeah.
I can always do better. Yeah. But, it's cool. I really like it. Yeah. Can't complain.
Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. And
yay, so nice to have met you today, because I was surprised. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I'm drilling him with all the questions.
So many drivers, that's probably my biggest issue, is they're like, oh, I don't want to be on camera, I don't want to be on YouTube. And it's like, yeah, but wouldn't you want your story to be heard? Like, we have great stories.
Yeah.
We have great experiences. Some sad, some great, like a lot of bad. Like, one bad passenger will put me out for the rest of the night. I'll just go home, because I don't want to pick up the next passenger and be like, I hate humanity. And it's probably one of those things that I think sometimes people know that we get paid really well on one ride, but then there's always another ride that just really makes us question whether or not we want to do this again. And so when you tip us, general public, we really appreciate it. Honestly, it really motivates us to take another ride. It motivates us to put on that smile. Sometimes we have a bad passenger, and it's really hard to have a good long conversation like you want, because I would say we get those passengers that are like, they didn't say anything to me, and I'm like, well, they probably had a horrible experience before you.
Right.
And it's not going to make your day any better. And we know that.
Right.
So we just don't share anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we open up a can of worms, and then we're just like, what is wrong with this world?
Yeah, no, I play it by ear. If the client is like very short answered, like, giving me like really short answers, all right, let me turn up the radio and let's get you to your destination. But most clients are like, oh, how's your day? Oh, and they start, going through their whole day. And that's, I always say, like, Uber drivers are like therapists,
Absolutely. We hear it all. And if you tell us something, your name's Carol. Right. Your name's John. Right. Your name's Billy. Like, we're not going, like, we can take some of that load away from you.
Right.
But, the biggest thing is, they don't owe us anything.
No.
We're not your mom. We're not going to be like, oh, this is going to embarrass us or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
We don't carry that the same way that their family would.
Right.
And so,
Yep.
you know, if something's bugging you, don't be a jerk to us. Just say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm having a bad day. And if we respond, well, would you like to talk about it? Then chances are we have 2 cents to rub together to hopefully make your day a little bit better.
Yeah. And that's
And-
usually how it goes.
Tip us
Yeah,
if
exactly.
it's helpful. Or if it makes your day 1% better, that's my goal with every passenger. And if I feel like I made someone's day worse,
Oh no, that's
no. It's
because sometimes we have bad days too. Like we're
Yeah.
human too. We have bad days too.
or
Sometimes we don't want to talk.
communication. Yes, it's communication.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know what your intent is by you asking me all these questions or
Right.
for these favors,
Right.
but there are some situations, the single mom with 2 kids,
Just got a
and-
divorce.
Yes, and that you can tell that she has a lot on her shoulder, and
Yeah.
you know, we'll
Yeah.
just, hey, what can I help you with?
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah.
what distinguishes what we do professionally from someone that's works at fast food,
Yeah.
and they're just there to take your order and slide you some, you know,
Yeah, it's
carbohydrates.
Service. It is service, and you know, I've gotten like a scary situation, like where a client, a female, has gotten into my vehicle, and she's like, you know, I needed to get out of wherever I was because it was gonna get violent, and it, you know, I'm scared, like, you know, I don't know what to do, you know, and it's just like, oh shit, what do I do? Like, what can I do? Like, call the
Yeah.
cops? Like,
Yeah.
what do I do? You know,
They get in and they say drive.
Yeah,
I learned.
I'm-
Just drive.
just drive. I'm not
Just
even-
drive.
Yeah.
Circle the
So-
block. Figure out
so-
where I'm going from there.
It can be scary. It can be scary. You hear
'Cause
of like gunshots.
I've had the boyfriend
oh,
rip open the door and say, "Get out of the cab."
I've
And
never
she,
not
oh,
like that.
we had to go to the police station.
Oh my god.
She was like, "I said fucking drive,"
"Oh my god."
and she was
I
like, "He has a gun."
Oh
I was
my
like, "Oh man!"
just never
Blew through 2
know.
red lights. I was like, "I ain't."
You never know who you will encounter. I mean, shit. I've you know, homeless, strippers, CEOs,
Yeah.
travelers, like, you know, offer me drugs. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
as a tip.
Yeah.
I'm buying offer drugs as tip.
Oh, I can't carry this to the airport. You know someone that smokes weed, and it's like, you know what? I can find a way to dispose of that for you, sir.
It's you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So I think one time it was crazy because there was like a trip that came through to LA, from Phoenix to LA.
Oh, wow.
And the guy told me once I picked him up, he's like, hey, I could give you $400, $500 right now. I need to transfer a heart. I need to take a heart.
Oh my
to
god!
like in the cooler and everything.
Wow.
And I was like, I think
Yeah.
I could do that. All right, let's go. And he ended up not needing the service. I think they were gonna helicopter it over or
wow.
something. But like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, like, am I part of something going on with the cartel? Like, what's going on? Like, but I was gonna do it though. Yeah, I sure was gonna.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta get this out of my belly. You're like, whoa.
Scary stuff sometimes, guys. But overall,
Yes.
all in all, it is awesome. Like
Yeah.
overall, I've had great experiences, made friends along the way, and had lots of fun. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, hey, I guess that pretty much wraps it up. I can't thank you enough for your time.
Right on.
And you
brother.
got some awesome
You-
stories. I'm so thankful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better put me on first. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
might as well.
Hey, you know, I mean, I get some drivers that don't want their face
Yeah.
on camera. So, you know, we got foreigners in here, and
Well,
you know, I get it
yeah.
sometimes. Or you know, they're just shy,
Yeah.
or they don't want to become viral.
Yes.
You never know. You
exactly.
just never
Yeah.
know.
Let's track this guy down. Yeah.
So,
And then,
but
yeah.
but
so,
I you know, I know that background, so I'm like, interview, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, awesome. Well, that's pretty much it.
Right on.
I'm gonna cut it here. What's your name?
Yesenia.
Do you have like
Social media.
social media that
Email,
you would
yeah.
want to throw on there?
Yeah.
Because I would basically just put it down on the bottom.
Cool.
And then if you have like Instagram or you're trying to get followers, I could throw it down there. So just go ahead and tell the camera, and then
Okay.
my
so what
editor will just be able to throw it down there.
Instagram. I guess Instagram. I'm more on Facebook, but Instagram is the way of the world
Okay.
nowadays. So my Instagram is it at? I think it's at. Yeah.
I have a Twitter
handle?
that's at. I
think
don't
it's
really
at.
use Instagram too, but I need to, especially with this.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at Instagram, but at Miss Yes, it's MISYEZ. Let me check that. Hold on. I know I use more Facebook. Okay, where do I go? Hold on. Here we go. Yeah. So Miss Yes, MISYEZ, Miss Yes.
Okay.
Oh, one S.
Awesome.
Sweet.
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and then I'll grab my phone.
Right.